Welcome to ISE's Equity Index Weekly Outlook, a weekly outlook on ISE and other industry indexes, hosted by Patrick Ceresna, a derivative market specialist and investment manager with extensive expertise in options and the broader derivative markets. ISE trades options on more than 15 proprietary sector indexes, as well as broad-based indexes and a variety of licensed benchmarks. ISE continually enhances its trading systems and develops new index options products to provide investors with the best marketplace and investment tools to trade smarter.
Hello and welcome to the ISE Equity Index Outlook for May 25th, 2009. This is Patrick Ceresna. First off, I want to take a look at the S&P 500 using that SPDR exchange traded fund symbol SPY. We continue to be range bound. We had last week a nice test back up into that 92-94 zone, now confirming that overhead resistance is actually very significant. There is a legitimate chance that the market will not make higher highs above that 92-94 zone. That doesn't particularly mean that there's going to be an outright bearish drop in the market yet, but I think a range-bound market from here is quite realistic. The 85-87 zone below is a significant support zone. Any sell-offs down into that zone should at least initially find some sort of support. Nonetheless, more than likely, we will see some very choppy range-bound price action going into the summer. Next here, I want to take a look at the ISE US Regional Banks Index, which is the symbol JLO. And more or less, the regional banks are showing some relative weakness compared to the broader market, as there's very clear distribution occurring over the last 2 weeks. More or less, this 15 to 16 zone is going to be the initial support level. At some stage, a bounce off of these levels is probably realistic, but nonetheless, we are more than likely are seeing a top in place on the regional banks, and any rally that bounces off this level will probably be an opportunity to short the regional banks. Next here, we're going to take a look at the ISE Syndex, which is the symbol SIN. This is an index of all the casino, tobacco, and distiller companies. And more or less, after being literally one of the hottest sectors in the market over the last 3 months, we're finally seeing some signs that the index is taking a breather. We rejected up in that 95 to 100 focal point up above and gave it a retest last week and rejected there. More or less, one of the initial downside targets at this stage is all the way down around the $80 area marked by the blue box. But nonetheless, just because the market is taking a breather doesn't mean we're in any way outright bearish. We just, at this stage, think the market is going to do a little bit of consolidating in the zone, and then we're going to see how it develops from there. Next here, I want to take a look at the ISE Home Builders Index, which is the symbol RUF. And a few days ago, we had an attempt to rally this back up toward its previous highs with a failing and rolling back over. At this stage, the likelihood is that we are going to come back for a retest down in that $7.5 area, where there should at least initially be some support. And then we're going to see how the home builders consolidate from there. Next here, I want to take a look at the ISE Natural Gas Index, which is the symbol FUM, and more or less, we want to just continue to put a lot of emphasis on that 72 to 76 zone, which is the blue box marked there. We continue to be range bound from the upside and the downside within these zones, and more or less, if the support levels hold in that blue box with the weakening US dollar, the natural gas index may just be consolidating before making its move higher. And so we're just carefully watching whether or not this is just a consolidation or whether there's going to be a much deeper pullback. Next here, I want to take a look at the ISE Mini FTSE 100 Index, which is the symbol UKX. We continue to be channeling in here in this sideways consolidation. Initially, we are anticipating that 420, 430 focal point to hold the initial sell-offs. If that's the case, then we can't rule out the UKX to make one more push higher back toward that 450, 460 zone on the upside. But we're looking also for a bigger picture topping formation here. So if we continue to channel in here and we see some continuing weakness, at that stage we'll revisit the idea that maybe this index is rolling over. That was your ISE Equity Index Outlook. Thank you for joining me.
Thank you for participating in this week's session. Please join us again next week. For more information about Patrick Ceresna and to sign up for free index options trade alerts, visit www.optionsource.net. To learn more about ISE index options, visit us at www.ise.com/indexoptions.